I love libraries. I think that public libraries are some of the best places to socialize with your friends, get work done, find great books, and generally have a peaceful space to do your thing. But there is a public library out there, so strange, so bizarre, with a cast of characters that make me question whether I've entered an alternate universe altogether. I call them the Library Brainrot Squad. Now, before I introduce the heroes of our story, let me first give you some much needed context. The library near the house that I grew up in is different. In most libraries I go into, everyone there is happy, scholarly people. You see, it's either always college students studying for exams, or young children being tutored, or just generally people vibing, doing their own thing, reading magazines, and nobody in there is particularly notable because they're all doing typical library things. But then we have this library. For the sake of the video, I'll call it the Library of Unspeakable Secrets and Terrors, or LOUSAT for short. You see, once I started going to the LOUSAT, I could no longer frequent any other library because LOUSAT is the most inspiring place I've ever been in my entire life. Over the past year or so, my library usage has gone up significantly because I use it for a crucial step of my video making process: idea creation. It all started when I heard that Jerry Seinfeld, world famous comedian, would sit at his desk every single day with a notepad and a pen, and for 1 hour, he was not allowed to do anything else than write. He could choose to do nothing, but the only task that he could take action on within that hour was writing. And I figured, well, sometimes I get writer's block at the idea creation stage of my videos. I'm gonna go to the library because there's very few distractions and get a piece of paper and a pen and do nothing but come up with ideas for an hour straight every single week. And let me tell you, I got way more inspiration than I bargained for. You see, the LOUSAT is not like your average library. It's significantly older and in a less developed part of town compared to the other libraries in my city. This tends to attract different types of patrons to the library. First off, every time that I pull into the parking lot, I'll see this one car without fail that has about 100 shopping bags tied to it filled with miscellaneous junk. So clearly someone was living out of their car in that library parking lot, which I don't judge, housing conditions are tough, but it straight up looks like a contraption out of Mad Max. Anyways, once you actually enter the library, you are immediately bombarded by our main cast. First, let me introduce you to the two group leaders of the Library Brainrot Squad. There's this black dude and this white dude in there who are literal clones of each other. Imagine George and Harold from Captain Underpants if they were 50 years old and obese. These two guys will be on the computers in the library from open to close. And the reason I know this is because I will go into the library to do work at random times, whether it be 10 a.m. in the morning or 7 p.m. at night, and without fail, these two guys are in there, and their dedication is the reason I consider them to be the group leaders. But you might be wondering what exactly they're doing on the computers. I don't think they know each other because they sit on opposite sides of the library, but they both are just in there pure brain rotting, hence the name the Library Brainrot Squad. I'll walk by these guys to see what they're up to just out of pure fascination, and I did notice that the black guy has different taste than the white guy. The black guy in there will either be watching New York Giants highlights, random comedy specials, and this guy's taste makes no sense. One day, he'll be watching Patrice O'Neal, and the next day, he'll be watching Amy Schumer. So I'm not really sure what style of comedy appeals to this guy. I guess he just loves a good laugh. The white dude, he loves watching food videos, like food shows. He'll be in there watching mukbangs, eating a bag of pretzels. But if he's not doing that, he's in there playing My Singing Monsters. You remember that game about the harmonizing monsters where you build a base and they're all singing? He's in there playing for like 5 hours straight. No breaks, just in a daze, mouth agape. Then we got Tism Tony, and I like Tism Tony because he'll just sit at the computer and watch live streams of trains for hours straight. I'm talking a 6-hour stream of him just watching trains pass by. Now, I think that autistic people love trains. There's something soothing about them. And, you know, I can understand that. I could watch trains for maybe like 15 minutes. But Tism Tony, he's in there from morning to night. He's just watching trains pass by. And they're not even like fast trains. They're moving at like 5 miles per hour, but he's just watching in a meditative state. And sometimes I get envious of Tony because he's like a 30-year-old man and all it takes to make him content is a train live stream. Like his mom will drop him off in the morning and he's just fine watching trains all day. I'll be looking at him like, is this enlightenment over here? Now let me tell you about Tweaks McMillan. Tweaks McMillan is the greatest wig of them all. I think Tweaks only owns one shirt because every time I see him, he's wearing the same Kyrie Irving Dallas Mavericks jersey. But he'll be on the computers and the only thing that he watches is like rapper gossip interview channels. He's like single-handedly keeping DJ Vlad in business. I'm like really curious about the life of Tweaks McMillan outside the library. I call him Tweaks McMillan because he is literally a tweaker. While he's on the computer, he will randomly start twitching and tweaking out. Every once in a while, he'll get up from his desk and start flailing his arms in this chicken wing formation, and I'm genuinely concerned because I can't tell if he's tweaking or he has some like condition that makes him twitch out randomly. One day I was just in there working and Tweaks randomly came up to me and he's like, "Hey bro, you got $1? Like I'm trying to get a drink at the vending machine." And I was like, "Sorry bro, I don't carry cash on me." And then he was like, "Alright, bet, I'ma holla at you." And I'm like, no way this is a real person. The last member of the library Brainrot squad is perhaps the most interesting, because I have no clue who he is, what he looks like, or where he came from. There is a man who sits on one of the couches in the library with his hands crossed in front of him. He wears a mask and sunglasses so none of his face is visible, and he just sits. He sits for hours on end with no movement, and I'm confused as whether he even exists or is just a figment of my imagination. I am truly bewildered by this man. The library Brainrot squad is really like a second family to me. Although I no longer live in the area, I frequently visit, and every time I come back, they're still there holding down the fort. Let me know if you interact with any similar phenomenons in your life in the comments, and also please follow me on Instagram.